Um, Guru family, welcome. We are here today to discuss what transpired this week in Canada with the
Hmm.
resignation of our Prime Minister. I'm here today with Straight Talk, and we're gonna also discuss the fact that the American soon to be president and former president Donald Trump threats to take over Canada. So on screen right now is Elizabeth May, who is one of the five federal party leaders in Canada. Hello, Straight Talk. Nice to see you. So, Elizabeth May is the leader of the Green Party. So, we're gonna play a little bit what she said when she was on CPAC, and then we'll stop it along the way, and we'll put our 2 cents in. Anything to say, Straight Talk? Straight Talk, your mic is off.
We'll just have to listen and hear what Miss May has to say, and then we can respond with some straight
Okay,
analysis.
let's go over to Miss May or Mrs. May. I'm not sure. She's the leader of the Green Party in Canada. Because in Canada we have like five major federal parties: the Green, the Black Quebecois, the NDP, the Conservative, and the Liberals. The Liberals are in power right now. Anyway, let's hear what the Green has to say about this Donald Trump thing.
One thing in common, and it's deep. We're Canadians. And when we approach a president elect who has astonishingly decided that a first order of business is Canada bashing, this is unique. I've been thinking back over previous presidents, can't think of a single US president who has ever thought a good way to start a relationship with their single largest trading partner is by insulting us. Well, never mind. We have to prepare for president-elect. We've got today being January 3rd, 17 days and counting till the inauguration, where we're promised an onslaught of punishments and abuses. Probably not, maybe not, but there's things we can do as Canadians to make sure we protect our economy and our society. That's our job. What he does, that's up to him. We in Canada stand together and we're firm, and we must negotiate from strength. We recognize that this prelude of threats of 25% tariffs on everything and some really quite, talk about bizarre Canada bashing, but that a president-elect would suggest he's going to seize parts of other sovereign countries.
Straight Talk, what do you think about this tariff business? Do you think tariff will be in the best interest of the United States?
No,
Or do
no,
you
the
think
tariff
tariff
won't
is
be.
a
But let me
bad
tell you something.
idea? Yeah.
It's a precursor. I think this man knows what he's doing, and it's a way he knows the election is coming up in Canada, and there's no good relationship between him and Chrystia Freeland.
But she's not
So
gonna. Do you think she will ever be prime minister?
no, but at the time of all of this, she was the person at the helm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes. The
him don't
finance
like them.
minister.
She horrible, and so it's a tactic to get him out because they really can't do business with him. I think it's a tactic. He's not gonna be that stupid enough to do 25% because at the end of the day, Mr. Trump has business here. The Trump Hotel is here in downtown Toronto.
But
So
does he own it, or are they just using his name?
whether them use him name or not, they have to import stuff for their hotel. So they will
Okay, I
also
see.
be inadvertently affected also. And I'm sure that he has friends who are who do heavy business in Canada. Coca-Cola, you know, all those big guys. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it will make things more expensive, and they are talking as if Canada doesn't have anything to put tariff on, and we have a lot. You know what I mean? We have the energy, we have wood, we have our dairy stuff, even though he's saying they have more dairy than us, but they still buy from us. And I remember the last time with this tariff thing, I think the prime minister was saying that he put tariff on Harley Davidson motorcycle so that it was harder for people in Canada to purchase Harley motorcycles. So that affected their company and also the workers. I don't know. This tariff thing, I think some tariff is necessary, but I don't know about 25%. 25 is high.
Yeah, but that's how he is. That's how Trump is. Him talk rough for kind of start to you, and then to get you into the position that he wants you to be in. And then him, you know, then from there, so now when he feel like him have you a certain way now, then you know, you start to bend to his beckon.
Yeah. All right, let's play some more and hear what she's saying.
Hmm.
Take the Panama Canal back, or maybe buy Greenland.
Even the Panama Canal. Even the Panama Canal. He's saying he
But
wants
you
to
know
take.
what? I'm gonna tell you something. You see this time around when him win, he's
Yeah,
coming back with a vengeance. Honestly, because
I
he
think
was
so.
hurt, humiliated by people who he thought that he trusted and he
Yes,
was nice to. And when his back was against the wall, these people were not even giving any support. They allowed Biden to drag him through the mud. You know?
yes, yes, yes. I think he has learned a lot of lessons, and I don't know if it's gonna be good.
No.
Because to me, I'm sensing a little bit of revenge this time around. But we'll see. Thank God I'm in Canada. We love Canada and we are not going to be a part of the US. Let me just get that out there.
This is not serious stuff. Yet we have to take very seriously that President-elect Donald Trump has Canada in his crosshairs. Single biggest trading partner, historically great ally, great neighbor, good friend. That's what Canada has been to the US and what the US has always been to us. So the tariff threats are real, but we have to negotiate from strength. And that means from the get-go, making clear that we don't go it alone and cut out Mexico. We're renegotiating COSMA. We do it from strength. We do it from the evidence that is clear.
Fox shit
But as much as,
Fox
by the way, back in the 1988 election, I was with John.
Yeah?
May I say
Like
a
with
Fox
what?
shit talk. Fox, she's saying
Yeah,
that
like,
we have to be when we're going. You know, this lady thinks she's an idiot too, but you know, me take back her idiot card.
oh my
So,
God.
so what she's saying, 100%. When you have somebody that's trying to be domineering, and there's three persons to the thing, to the deal, you have to go and attack this person or approach this person, the bully or whatever, the domineering one, with the other party. So she's saying you have to align yourself with Mexico and both, because him can't survive on him own, you know.
No, no one.
So
Everybody
yeah,
need people, man. Can't
exactly.
survive by yourself.
So if Canada decides that they're gonna try to attack him on their own, they're in for a problem, right? Number two, she's right. You have to don't let this thing linger, because we feel like say, oh yeah, them soft. attack them. You have to answer and deal with this matter. Shut it down right away. She shoves, and you know what? Her speech is not aggressive so far. Her speech is not aggressive. It's very it's in the middle.
Diplomatic.
That's the word. Very diplomatic. Correct.
Yes. But
Wow.
you know what? A funny thing. It's kind of off topic, but this makes me think, right? Because you know when you're sworn in as Canadian, you don't pledge allegiance to Canada. You
You pledge
pledge
allegiance to the
allegiance
Queen.
to the Queen. Yeah, or no, the King. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering if it's because Canada as always have this type of stuff in the back of their minds, and that is why they always still try to keep allegiance to Great Britain, because they figured that one
But
day
that's
the American.
something. Yeah, but that's something that Mr. Trump didn't even think about, the fact that we are a sovereign nation to the Queen. So there has to be like a republic. Like we have to first withdraw from them, and then at the end of the day, we can always go back to England, like in terms of
Yeah,
trading or whatever.
yeah, but I'm
And
thinking like,
If Canada smart, Russia has lots of resources,
yeah,
and we can always draw upon Russia. Africa
yeah,
has a lot of resources, and we can always draw from Africa. China is so close to Vancouver and them place there. We can always go to China. Like, give me a break. We literally don't need you. Because
but
all of the food them from America is pumped with Syngenta and the other one that starts with the M.
no, it's bad, and that is why they are afraid now that Kennedy is gonna take over the food administration, because a lot of the food and the chemical that they use in their food in the States is not allowed in Canada or Europe. It's banned.
So
So
I just found out that ascorbic acid is a mold. I always think it's vitamin C, like some type of vitamin.
I don't even know.
So sorry, not ascorbic, citric acid. I thought it was an actual come from from orange or some vitamin C business. No, it's a mold. Then put on
Oh,
the food.
I'm gonna have to do some research.
You better.
But you see, and this is another reason why us Canadians will never want to be Americans, because that society is profit driven, and a lot of regulations around food and stuff like that. In Canada, they don't have it. You know what I mean? Some of the dyes and what the dye will do to the food and to the body. Like in Canada, we are more protective. You know what I mean? And that is why people tend to make fun of Canadians, saying that it's communism and this and that. But no, they have to at least care about the people. Plus, we have universal health care, which they don't have in the United States. People don't get bankrupt when they get sick in Canada. You know what I mean? In the United States, you don't even want to get sick, because then you have to deal with co-pay, you have to deal with which hospital is in your network and this and that. Trust me, most Canadians don't want to be American. Don't get it twisted, Mr. Trump. We don't want to be Americans. Don't be fooled.
Me like, oh
You know
yeah,
what
I
I
just
mean?
a Trump kind of listen to him. I like that.
Yeah. We are maybe his kids. Just know this: we don't want to be a part of the United States. We will trade with you and we can make money together, but we don't want to be a part of the USA. Don't get it twisted. Don't be fooled.
Turn her on. Don't go for this free trade deal with the US, will be subsumed. I think Canadians now as a country, we've shifted to recognizing that it turned out that creating an economic trading unit in North America with Canada, Mexico, and the United States has been, for the most part, to our mutual advantage. If anything, Mexico got the worst of it, which is another reason we can't cut them loose now. Claudia Sheinbaum and the government of Mexico deserve our full support. And we work together because that makes us stronger. We know that isolationism and protectionism, as much as they're now part of Trump's playbook, have never been a Canadian strength. We believe in cooperation, multilateralism, and we negotiate from strength. We listen to President-elect Trump's concerns. We dispute the nonsense that our border is allowing fentanyl and criminals to pour into the United States. We present the evidence to him that that's not the case. We don't need to kowtow. We need to point out to him that trade is not a zero-sum game. The fact that they buy more stuff from us than we buy from them doesn't mean that they're losers. Actually having access to a lot of high-quality goods that they buy at a price that is, especially given the Canadian dollar at the moment, a bargain, doesn't mean they've lost. This is not mercantilism. The trade rules that have been developed for multilateral trade through liberalization and many trading blocs, whether we're looking at the Canada-European trade agreements, Canada to Asia with and certainly CUSMA, we know that these relationships matter. Interestingly enough, there was a recent, I'm deviating, I do that. The Economist had a recent column from someone who goes by the nom de plume Charlemagne. Maybe Canada should join the European Union. We have a lot in common, obviously not geography. We have in common the geography of North America, Canada, US, and Mexico, and we negotiate from strength. And we stress that the goods and the resources we sell to the United States benefit their economy enormously. What would U.S. agriculture do without Canadian potash? What would the U.S. economy? I know that some of our premiers are freelancing, and okay, Doug Ford, go for it. But listen, we're not going to cut the U.S. off of energy supplies. We're trading partners. We're not combatants. And that symbiotic relationship of our trade throughout North America needs to be stressed. But as much as Donald Trump has decided to throw out this, I've mentioned Panama Canal, Greenland, and this nonsense, and I think it's time that some Canadian leadership stood up and said, sorry, Donald Trump, as kind as your offer might be, that we should be the 51st state, there's a hard no on that. Clifford Lincoln, former Quebec Environment Minister, had an excellent letter to Donald Trump in yesterday's Montreal Gazette. No, thank you, Mr. Trump. We will not really seek to be, and I quote, ever happy little clams in a magnificent MAGA ocean. Newsflash, Donald Trump, we are not aspiring to be a 51st state. We are already a sovereign country. We are a nation. And anytime anyone looks around the world for the top 10 places to live, Canada's in the top half of the top 10, always. The United States? Never. Even the U.S. News and World Report, which puts...
Straight talk. That's
diplomacy. So, me like when she said what I said earlier, she said that we can even, if push come to shove, we'll go back to Europe, right? And she said it, yeah. And the thing is, and she made a very interesting point that when we're buying more than you, we're not actually better off than you. We're actually supporting your economy. So you should be grateful for that, because we're pouring financial resources into your economy. We're boosting your GDP.
No, she's saying that we are selling more to them than us. That's why they have the trade deficit. So she's saying that we are selling more to them than us. But I'm looking at it like the reason why they are buying more than us is because they have more people and they are a richer country. So they have the money to buy.
True. And we have more education, people more system.
So why do people want to go to Harvard and Yale from Canada if our education is better? And
you know, say I show thing.
Eh?
Stats. Shorting, a shorting.
Pretty up resume thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And majority of the time when our people leave here
Together,
to go to
such a list
school
looks
here,
at
they're
things
getting a
like
scholarship.
affordability, access to healthcare.
Yeah, like what? Sports.
Yeah.
Safe streets. Where do you want to live? Canada. Our Olympic athletes, when climbing the podium, don't stand up there and sing, "Oh, to be somewhere down the list after Puerto Rico." No. Sing the true north, strong and free. We stand on guard, oh Canada. We stand on guard for thee. So no matter how many Trump photos of him in business suits striding a Swiss mountain he posts with the Canadian flag, we're not intimidated. So
Speaking of the flag, right? Americans want to be Canadian, right? Because I can remember back in the day in the Afghanistan war, Americans going through Europe or the Middle East or those places, they pretend to be Canadians. They even put Canadian flags on their backpack. You know what I'm saying? When they travel, they hide the fact that they are Americans. So why would
Well,
we
my thing
Canadian
is,
want to be them? We don't want
but,
to, and we're not
but my
going to.
but hear this now, no. You want Canada to be your 51st state. You have Puerto Rico. You guys had the Philippines, right? Them have the
Yeah.
U.S. Virgin Islands. Why them not go build and develop the U.S. Virgin Islands, the Puerto Rico, and deal with over Philippines? Eh? Why them not go develop Hawaii? Look for Hawaii. Go and go develop over Hawaii, no? It's
Boy,
just sheer greed.
yeah.
Go develop Philadelphia, where crime are sitting all over.
Sheer greed and no positive intention for the people. You know what I mean? Remember that
Very
Hawaii
good.
burned down. Was it fire, right? In Hawaii, like a couple months ago or whatever, in last year.
Yeah. And
A
Oprah go there
Haima, is it a
beg money.
Haima or whatever the name is? And they didn't help.
No,
They
Oprah
didn't
go there
help.
with her beg money for people must donate and she have her billions them.
Yeah, see, Canadians now is sending how many planes and firefighters to California. That's what we do.
Yeah.
We help our citizens and we help people. We don't want to be Americans and we will never be Americans. We will trade, we will make money together, but we will never be Americans. Remember back in the War of 1812, I think Canada, along with the British, were the last set of people to occupy the capital. And this is it. They always think that Canadians are soft. But they burned down the presidential mansion and they burned down the Washington Navy yard and a couple more buildings in the capital. You know what I mean? Canada occupied Washington. You know what I mean? Burned down and the presidential mansion, in case you guys are wondering, is the White House. So when they push Canadian backs against the wall, they will react. You know what I mean? And this was in the War of 1812. I think this happened in 1814. You know what I'm saying? So for my American friends listening, this is a bit of history. Canada will stand up for themselves. Canadians will stand up for themselves when their backs are against the wall. As you saw this week, I have never seen it before, the outburst of patriotism for Canada. We don't brag, we don't boast, and we don't like to be on the front page, but we love Canada and we are very patriotic to this country. The only thing I don't like is this whole pledging allegiance to the king or the queen of England? Why not pledge allegiance to Canada? You know what I'm saying? That is one of the puzzling thing for me, being in this country. But anyway.
In business deals, say this is his tactic before negotiation. Humiliation, business approach.
What did I say earlier?
So
Pause.
I take offense. We do not.
You see me tell you earlier? I tell you that
Yes.
this is his tactic before, because and that way he's gonna know how to deal with you accordingly. See, she said everything. I'm not even watch the thing yet. I'm not even watch the thing yet. I tell her. So him stay. So if you allow him to be there and be the bully and beat you down verbally, when it comes to the real negotiation now, he's just gonna come so hard, and by that time you're beat down to a pulp. But anyway,
Yeah.
press play.
He has the upper hand, eh?
Oh yeah.
Strive to be the 51st state. We're a G7 country. We are part of the world as an independent, sovereign nation. Comme Canada, nous sommes déjà une nation fière. Nous sommes une nation avec.
So if Canada become US, what are they gonna do with Quebec? What are they gonna say? They can't speak French?
Why them not? You know, see what the Mexican prime minister or president did when they're talking about sovereignty and naming back the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. She just released a map and show them, say, the whole of Texas and LA, all of those places is part of Mexico. It's Mexican land was stolen.
Yeah, that is right. Yeah. Yeah, they annex it. Yeah, that's what they think they can do to Canada. But Mr. Trump, go on dreaming. Go on dreaming, because that is just a dream.
Les relations dans les Nations Unies, un membre des Nations Unies, membre de l'Organisation mondiale de commerce, membre des groupes multilatéraux, we're part of the Commonwealth. Nous sommes membres de la francophonie. Nous avons un rôle important dans le monde, avec les relations avec les autres pays et comme une nation avec un bilan coopératif, un bilan d'efforts multilatéral, nous avons le respect des autres nations du monde. So no, sorry. And I really also take offense, sorry, Mr. Trump, took offense to your idea that Pierre Poilievre wasn't good enough to lead the Conservatives. Wayne Gretzky, I mean, he's great. He is the great one. He skates to where the puck is going. It's not going to MAGA. The puck is on a Canadian ice rink. And by the way, Mr. Trump, please, before making public pronouncements that Wayne Gretzky should run for prime minister, give yourself or get yourself a briefing on the nature of parliamentary democracy, a Westminster parliamentary system, and a constitutional monarchy where no one runs for prime minister. We have elections for members of parliament. We don't get to pick and choose among our billionaire friends for who gets a seat at the cabinet table. If they're not an elected member of parliament, well, Canadian system is different from that of the United States of America. I suggest that Mr. Trump find one of his grandchildren's school books and look at the year 17.
Elizabeth May is gangster, man.
My God. My God.
That's
My
what
God.
I said. They think Canadians play. Elizabeth May dealing with the man like a child.
1976, which may explain if you think, Tim, about why our systems of government are different. I don't want to belittle Mr. Trump, but on the other hand, hey, Donald, have we got a...
That's too late. Straight talk. You hear her? She don't want to belittle him.
Belittle him, yeah.
deal for you. You think we want to be the 51st state? Nah, but maybe California would like to be the 11th province. How about it? California, Oregon, Washington, You've got a common goals. And not only that, we've already got a carbon trading system between California and Quebec. We've got some strong alliances on our West Coast from British Columbia. There's been a lot of academic papers on the idea of Cascadia. So California, Governor Newsom, and Washington State, Jay Inslee, and newly elected Governor of Oregon, Tina Kotek. How about it? Want to put a referendum to your citizens? Because this is what you deal. Have we got a deal for you? This is what you get. Free healthcare. Universal free healthcare. No more 1-year-olds who suddenly fall off the Medicaid list and their parents are in the news because they're trying to do a GoFundMe so they can get their daughter to a doctor. Universal free healthcare. And guess what? Those gun laws that
Elizabeth May is gonna make all of them want to be Canadian now. Why is she promising them free healthcare?
Hello, Elizabeth May should just convert to the the Conservative Party, and I'll vote for her.
Hear you. Listen, Pierre, you think Pierre would never support universal healthcare if he was around back in the day? You think that guy is a good guy? Yo, those guys, he's for the rich. He's not for working people. Those type of people will never support universal health care. That guy. So this whole conservative thing, straight talk, I'm not into it. Canadian people are just caught in between a rock and a hard place with this duopoly political thing. They say they have 5 parties, but in a sense it's 2 because they are back and forth between the conservative and the liberals. You know what I'm saying? They are just back and forth between the 2. You know? So, I don't know. Like, they have 5 parties, but they never give these other parties a chance. So, there you go. And the conservative is spending a lot of money on advertisement. Lot of money. So, that is why people are thinking that this Pierre guy is a good guy. In my book, he's not a good guy. These type of people don't support universal health care. You know what I mean? Even though Trudeau is whatever, at least he brought in the dental care, even though it's not the best. And Jagmeet kind of give him a push. And he also did the thing with the weed. You know what I mean? The cannabis make it legal now and stuff like that. So he did a few things, you know what I mean? Even though he did his bad thing with the truckers and the SNC Lavalan with the Jody Wilson, the Buckle in Quebec and stuff like that, and the weed charity scandal. So that guy, he has a lot of baggage, and people think that is because of the Christian Freeland resignation why he is resigning. No, it's a lot of things. Even before he became prime minister, he's wearing blackface. He's a big man and he's wearing blackface, and he knows how offensive that is. So this guy, he has a lot of issues too. You know what I mean? Man, this whole politics thing is something else. Anyway, anything
No, sir.
You know what I'm saying? He blocked the truckers' bank account. He forced people to take this thing, and he's saying that he didn't force it. If you are telling people that if they don't take this thing, they can't go to work, they can't do this, they can't. What do you call that, Mr. Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister? What do you call that? You force people to take this thing. That's what you call it. You force people. So it's not the Chrystia Freeland thing. Why you are resigning, Prime Minister? It's all these things. It turns people against you. And they won't vote for you. They will probably still vote Liberal if somebody else is there, but not for you. Because you are a wannabe dictator. And that is a problem.
Power got to him. Power got to him.
You know what I'm saying? Straight up, this guy is a wannabe dictator. Our Prime Minister.
Power got to him, my dear child.
Yeah. You know what I mean? He has been in power too long, and they say Power, absolute
Power corrupts.
corrupts. Absolutely.
Your Congress is too afraid to pass because of the national gun lobby. We already got our strict gun laws. That's why we have the safest streets around the world, or at least in the United States, by the way, the most recent stats, 5.9 out of every 100,000 people is killed in a fatal gun incident versus 0.88 per 100,000 in Canada. That's because we have strict gun laws. California citizens, Oregon, Washington, safer streets. Here we already have good gun laws, and women have a right to an abortion under our universal health care system. But, we don't have to stop there. Donald, think about it. You could get rid of all these states that always vote Democrat. You know what else will take Bernie Sanders off your hands? Proud new Canadian citizen of the great province of Vermont. Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. We'd love to see you. Our maritime provinces already have deep, deep links and ties. Well, enough kidding around. But honestly, President Trump, get used to it. Canada is a sovereign nation full of, guess what, proud Canadians. We're not jingoistic. We don't boast a lot. That's one of the things we kind of have in common with Jimmy Carter. We're not a big nation for braggarts and bullies. We actually like to think we're of service in the world. We could do better. We can always do better. But we love our country. And it's a country. It's a nation. So let's not hear that anymore. If it was a joke, it was never funny. And it ends now.
Amen. Amen.
The boss has spoken.
Straight talk.
The boss has spoken.
Amen. Yes. She let them have it. She let them have it. So, straight talk. Do you want us to go to the right honorable Minister
Yeah, man.
Trudeau?
Let's proceed.
Yeah. And hear what he has to say. I'm gonna play his resignation speech. I'm gonna play his resignation speech and hear what he has to say. Our Prime Minister, because as I said, it's not the one issue why he had to tender his resignation. It's not the one issue. It's a lot of issues. And again, Guru family, anyone want to come up on screen can click the link and come up. You can turn off your camera if you want, and you can click the link and come up, and you can give your 2 cents. You can give your 2 cents. So we're gonna go to the Prime Minister's speech, and then we'll stop it along the way and discuss. So let's go.
Every morning I've woken up as Prime Minister. I've been inspired by the resilience, the generosity, and the determination of Canadians. It is the driving force of every single day I have the privilege of serving.
And this is from the CBC News. I like to give credit, because I don't want people saying this and that. So this one is from the CBC News.
Serving in this office. That is why, since 2015, I've fought for this country, for you, to strengthen and grow the middle class. Why we rallied to support each other through the pandemic, to advance reconciliation. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right, Mr. Trudeau. You supported who during the pandemic? Yeah, right.
To defend free trade on this continent, to stand strong with Ukraine and our democracy, and to fight climate change in the future. We are at a critical moment in the world. Mes chers Canadiens, à chaque matin, je me suis réveillé en tant
This Prime Minister wore blackface. People, never forget that. This Prime Minister wore blackface. It was before he was Prime Minister, but he was a big man and should have known better. He wore blackface. So it's not about him and the falling out with the finance minister, Chrystia Freeland. It's a lot of issues. What he did during the pandemic with the trucker protests and how he behaved and the name calling and the suspension of bank account. He didn't care if people have car payment. He didn't care if people have child support. He was just being a dictator. He wanted to be a dictator. So this guy, he's not a nice guy. He's not a nice guy. And another example of him wanting to be a dictator is the whole SNC Lavalin affair, where the ethics commissioner, Mario Dion, found that he was not that ethical. You know what I mean? And he caused the justice minister to resign, Jody Wilson-Raybould at the time. So this guy, he's not a nice guy either. So just a reminder that thing that happened with the finance minister wasn't the only thing that caused this prime minister here to resign. Just remember that, people. It's a lot of issues. Plus the We Charity thing, where the charity was given the money, grants. They were given the contract to be in charge of the grant program, right? And his family members, and I think, I'm not 100% sure, Bill Mano, I think he was the finance minister at the time, too, took like vacation and stuff like that with the charity. The prime minister, Trudeau's family member were hired and stuff like that, and it was all like unethical behavior. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of scandal. I guess over 9 years, you're gonna inherit or make a lot of scandals, but he was full of it.
Qui nous caractérise si bien en tant que Canadiens. C'est ce qui me motive à chaque jour où j'ai le privilège de servir dans ce poste. C'est pourquoi, depuis 2015, je me suis battu pour ce pays, pour vous, pour renforcer la classe moyenne. Pourquoi nous nous sommes mobilisés en tant que Canadiens pour se soutenir les uns les autres pendant la pandémie, pour faire progresser la réconciliation, pour défendre le libre-échange sur notre continent, pour notre soutien inébranlable de l'Ukraine et de la démocratie, et pour lutter contre les changements climatiques et préparer l'économie de l'avenir. Nous traversons vraiment un moment critique dans le monde. My friends, as you all know, I'm a fighter. Every bone in my body has always...
Talk. Straight talk. This is the thing that I can't understand. This Prime Minister here, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, is saying that he's a fighter at a time when he's saying that he's gonna stop fighting. How can you say you're a fighter at a time when you are saying that you are gonna stop fighting? I don't get it.
I care deeply about Canadians. I care deeply about this country. And I will always be motivated by what is in the best interest of Canadians. Despite best efforts to work through it, Parliament has been paralyzed for months after what has been the longest session of a minority parliament in Canadian history. That's why this morning I advised the Governor General that we need a new session of Parliament. She has granted this request, and the House will now be prorogued until March 24th.
Straight talk. What do you think about this proroguing of Parliament business?
No. I buy them a buy time.
But the thing is, Stephen Harper did it
should
when
just
he was
call
Prime Minister.
an election.
Yeah, boy, this parliamentary system is something else. The presidential system is something else too. I'm not saying one is better than the other. That's how it is, man. Politics.
4th. Over the holidays, I've also had a chance to reflect and have had long talks with my family about our future. Throughout the course of my career, any success I have personally achieved has been because of their support and with their encouragement. So last night over dinner, I told my kids about the decision that I'm sharing with you today. I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process. Last night, I asked the President of the Liberal Party to begin that process. This country deserves a real choice in the next.
So when they say March 9th, right, they are gonna have that the leaders race. Right? Straight talk? Straight talk? Straight talk, mic is off. Anyway, let's continue.
Selection, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, ce qui a été la plus longue session d'un Parlement minoritaire dans l'histoire de notre pays. C'est pourquoi ce matin, j'ai rencontré la gouverneure générale pour lui faire savoir que nous avions besoin d'une nouvelle session du Parlement. Elle a accédé à ma demande et la Chambre sera donc prorogée jusqu'au 24 mars. Pendant le temps des fêtes, j'ai également eu l'occasion de réfléchir et d'avoir de longues conversations avec ma famille quant à notre avenir. Tout au long de ma carrière, tout le succès que j'ai eu personnellement est dû à leur soutien et à leurs encouragements. Donc hier soir, au souper, j'ai partagé avec mes enfants la décision que je partage avec vous tous aujourd'hui. J'ai l'intention de démissionner de mon poste de chef du Parti libéral du Canada et de Premier ministre une fois que le parti aura choisi son prochain chef à l'issue d'un processus national, rigoureux et compétitif. Hier soir, j'ai demandé au président du parti de commencer les étapes.
Tina, welcome to the live, Tina. So you are saying maybe it's deeper than we are seeing. Could be. Could very well be.
nécessaire. Le pays mérite si je dois me concentrer sur des batailles internes, je ne peux pas être la meilleure option lors de ces élections. Le Parti libéral du Canada est une institution importante dans l'histoire de notre grand pays et de notre démocratie. Un nouveau premier ministre et chef du parti portera les valeurs et les idées du Parti libéral dans la prochaine élection. J'ai hâte d'observer le déroulement de ce processus dans les mois à venir. Nous avons été élus pour la 3e fois en 2021 pour renforcer l'économie après la pandémie et faire progresser les intérêts du Canada dans un monde complexe. Et c'est exactement ce que je vais continuer à faire, ce que nous allons continuer à faire pour les Canadiens. The Liberal Party of Canada is an important institution in the history of our great country and democracy. A new Prime Minister and leader of the Liberal Party will carry its values and ideals into that next election. I'm excited to see the process unfold in the months ahead. We were elected for the 3rd time in 2021 to strengthen the economy post-pandemic and advance Canada's interests in a complicated world. And that is exactly the job that I and we will do for.
The birthing room says he gave us money. He gave you money if you weren't working, yes. I guess that's a good thing. But anyway, Straight Talk is gone. Leave your thoughts below. Please share, subscribe, watch another video, and I will catch you in the next one. Always want more, and make sure you are worth more. Thanks for watching. The Birthing Room and Tina. Thanks for watching. Tina Martin. So Guru family, please thumbs up, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.